It's
as
just
well.
like, yo.
It's like, dude, you 5'2", you know you can get with a 5'8" dude with 6-inch heels on. You are the same height.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because it's what I've found is that the most aggressive preferences come from the most trash human beings.
Come on.
You don't have anything
Right.
to bring to the table.
Right.
But you got all of these demands that you want.
Right.
You want a joker to make, okay, cool. You want a nigga that makes you want somebody who makes a whole bunch of money.
Right.
A person who makes a whole bunch of money does not have a whole bunch of time.
Come on.
But your also preference is you want somebody that's going to be able to spend a lot of time.
Yeah, and be there for little Johnny's soccer team and stuff like that. You gotta that's hella priority.
A joker who runs a business don't have time to show up for the soccer game most of the time.
Come on.
Because he's running a business.
Right.
So you want a guy who makes all of this money. They don't have a lot of time.
And he's not the 9 to 5. If anything, he's 5 to 12.
Yes.
5 to 12 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Working on Sundays, working on Saturdays, traveling and all. But here's also, look at this.
Right.
Then you want a guy who's tall and who's extremely handsome.
Okay.
That means his sexual market value is extremely high.
Okay.
So that means, are you going to continue to be something that he wants to look at every time he comes home?
Come on, lingerie.
Because if he is a powerful guy that has money, who is very attractive,
right,
that means there are going to be women
who are buying,
who are scratching and clawing for his attention. And then the fact that he's with you makes him even more attractive because they look at it as a challenge that they can't have.
Right. And he can't come home all the time to the wrapped up dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just real.
There's a type of person that you have to be.
It's a responsibility
that comes with the preferences that you have.
Right. And you don't have to have that preference. That's the whole thing. But just know that if you want this list, just know that there's a response. And I think you said the responsibility that comes with that. And I think I had somebody say this to me. A lady said this. She said, it shouldn't have to be that hard. Says who?
Yeah.
Who told you that? Because I think that what should have happened is that when we had health class back in the day, and they were telling us about the penis and the vagina and the egg and the sperm and how they meet. So there should have been an addendum to that of the life skill of what it really takes to go out here and make it.
Yeah.
So just like the entrepreneurship, and somebody said this to me while I was on the way here, like even social media has kind of messed that up because people want to go from zero to Lil Wayne, right? And not realize, they just want to jump in the studio and think that you Lil Wayne. No, there is a path that has to be taken along the way, and there is a responsibility that comes with that, and you're accountable for that.
Absolutely.
And don't expect the other person to just do the whole, because I'm going to go ahead and lose some friends by saying this, but I think that a lot of the responsibility of a relationship has been more pointed towards the guy should do this, right? And he should step up to do this, not realizing that just like they have the word man up, you have some women that need the woman up, and maximizing that feminine energy, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're looking at your list, the question is on that list, what woman up are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because you want the man up on that. What woman up are you going to do? My line brother is an emergency room doctor. He works 1 week on, 1 week off. And he works from like 7 at night to like 8, 9, 10 in the morning. Now, what does that mean? His house is dope, right? A nice car, right? So, the picket fence and the dog and 3 kids, you good on that, right? But just know he's not going to be at little Johnny's soccer team a lot. He's not going to be there because he's working. When you get home, he's walking out the door to go save lives. So are you signing up for that? Are you prepared for that type of person?
And to be his peace while he does that.
Right.
Right? Because I think a lot of women want to, this is an interesting kind of example. I think a lot of women want a basketball player showing up in football gear.
Oh.
Right? So if I've got shoulder pads, a helmet on, and cleats,
right?
But my helping assignment calls for there to be shorts, sneakers, and a tank top, and we're gonna be running back and forth,
right?
Or you show up to a football situation with soccer attire,
okay,
right?
Okay.
What I'm saying is there are women who are saying this is what I want,
right?
But you don't have the necessary tools,
yes, sir,
or you don't your personality or the way that you were raised,
what it takes to maintain what you're looking for.
Because we still, it's hard to get away from the woman as the helper.
Okay.
It's just hard to get
And
away
please
with
clarify that, because some people going to think that that's like a misogynistic
Yes.
statement.
But I mean, so when I say helper, I mean because what from a Christian ideology,
Right.
what did God created Adam,
Right.
and He said, "I'm going to make a helper suitable
Right.
for him."
Right. Come on.
And that's very interesting.
For your him.
From a Christian ideology, think about this. The Bible says Adam was created for God.
Right.
The woman was created for Adam.
Right. Okay.
The man was created for God.
Right.
The woman was created for man. And we don't like that structure.
Yeah.
Our culture, our feminist, our aggressive feminist culture does not like the idea that the woman was created for the man. They don't like that. We're not saying you cannot be a business owner. We're not saying
You got to be
that you
barefoot
can't.
and pregnant.
We're
We
not
ain't
saying that you
that.
got to be barefoot and pregnant. We're not saying that you have to be a housewife and you have to have on a muumuu all day.
I was gonna say moo.
You know what I'm saying? Washing
But that's
dishes.
what they
and-
take it straight there first. Like, oh, I don't want to, even though, God, that's not. We'll talk about submissive another day. But like you're subservient, and you're like, no. If you're created for that person, there's a requirement for that person, and you have to step a woman up to that moment. And it's kind of like to have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
That you can't have both. Like you got to always tell ladies, you have to pick a struggle, right? Whatever's on your list. Understand that there's a struggle that comes with that. And you have to understand you have to sign up for that. And if you got 50 things on there, are you 50 things worth of that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they love to say, I bring the table to the table. Well, there's a lot that comes with if you're going to bring the table to the table. Okay. And so you're stepping up to what this man is looking to do and move forward with. There's a responsibility of time, energy, you know what I'm saying? Just finances or whatever, to whereas, if you're a quality time person, right? And you bring the table to the table, but then you dating my line brother, well, guess what? You're not going to get that quality time that comes with that, right? Yep. So now you're like, why won't you give me the time? He's not available for that.
But here's the thing.
You got to sign up for somebody else.
But here's the thing. I hate that concept. I bring the table to the table.
Oh my God.
Under what way has that been tested? You're a single woman. You're not married, but you said I bring the table to the table.
You don't even know what the table is yet.
But here's the thing. I agree that, like, okay, you're intelligent,
right?
Okay,
right.
You are successful as a woman, right? You've started your own business. You've done all of that stuff. But when it come down to it, as a man, that's not what attracts me to you. No, I don't give a doggone. And so that's the hard thing between intergender dynamics between men and women, right? Men are naturally, and this is hard. I said this on Facebook and they didn't like it.
Oh, they don't like it.
Men are romantics posing as realists.
Oh, yeah. I saw you when you posted
Women
that.
are realists posing as romantics.
Yeah, that's right.
Women are opportunistic lovers.
Okay.
Men are romantic, idealistic lovers.
And it's interesting that you said it because ladies wouldn't normally put us in the romance side of things. So,
but think about this. I could see Naomi Campbell at 25 as a homeless woman.
Okay.
And get to having a conversation with her and be like, man, that girl is beautiful. I know she's struggling, but she is fine. Get to know her, get her cleaned up, put her in new clothes and marry her.
Cleaned her up.
Right? Ain't no way a woman is going to do that for a guy.
And I don't think that she should.
No, but what I'm saying is opportunistic is not a slight on women. It actually is poking at the fact that you want to be connected to the best possible joker possible.
Yeah, to sire your children.
Right,
which is
exactly.
Real.
So I don't mean opportunistic as in gold digger. I mean opportunistic as you as the helper, as somebody who wants to come alongside and a woman wants to be with the best possible joker.
Security. It's about security. You know what I'm saying?
And men look at relationships from I just want to love you.
Yes.
I want to take care of you.
Right.
And so it's different.
Right.
So you can't call that romance.
Okay.
You can't call I'm looking for the best possible situation as romance. It's not.
And in the defense of women, you know, security is one of the biggest things that women are looking for. Back in the day, or we went in the cave days, right? It was having the ability to go out and hunt, right, and bring that meat home, bam, slap it on the table. You know what I'm saying? And then and that's transition into. That's why when I say to men with regard to their finances equals security.
Absolutely.
It's the number 2 reason for divorce. So don't tell me that's what people kill me when they say it's not about the money. Those are lies.
It's definitely about the money.
It's about the if it's the number 2 reason why, number 1 is infidelity, number 2 is finance, number 3 is communication. And number 1 and number 3 bounce back and forth. Finances remains as constant as the number 2. So don't tell me it's not about the money. And gentlemen, it is our responsibility to make sure that we become financially secure, you know, and have fiscal responsibility. Absolutely. And if a woman comes along, she's saying that because that represents security for her children. Absolutely. And she should be able to do that. But just watch what, again, ladies, whatever factor, if you want him to be a 7-figure dude, are you 7-figure material? And don't tell me, just because your titties look like this and your ass look like that, that does not make you qualified.
Absolutely.
Please understand that.
Absolutely. And
so are you ready for that? Or if it's 6-figure, like you just said on entrepreneurial, are you ready for that? Because sacrifice of time is going to come into play. But you know, and in the spirit of time, you know what I'm saying? I want to switch over real quickly because at times, you know, there's a double standard portion that exists within relationships, right? And so a lot of times it could look like that, you know, it's easier to be a man. Right. And it's always harder to be. I think that stigma needs to stop.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because it is not easy to be a man.
Absolutely.
Right. It's easy to be a bum man. Right. It's easy to be a mama's boy. And to be honest with you, those are actually hard because later on in life, you get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you walk around being a mama's boy later on in life, when you got to really step out there, that thing hurt.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's not easier to be a man. It's not easier to be a woman. Is it? Can I imagine a baby dropping out of me? No. And I'm never I don't have a uterus.
Well, that monthly cycle?
Is that difficult? God. Yes. I want to acknowledge that because women go straight there like, you can't have a baby. Really? Well, I can run down the list of things that is difficult to be as a man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's particularly those of us who anyway, I'm about to get off topic, but really there's double standards that does exist, whether it's inside the household or out. And a lot of times along the lines of sex, and we talk about the sexual double standards, and that, you know, man goes out here, if you boning 50 women, you know, you just out there sowing your oats. But when a woman does it, she's a hoe. Right. And so Rod Shipman says something really good. He was just like, I'm just going to give you an example of it. He was just like, if I have sex with 50 women, I let it go. But as a woman, if you do that, it's as if, because it's inside of you, it's as if we still see all 50 of those dudes.
And scientifically, the sperm that does not reach the egg goes into the bones of a woman.
Okay. Come on, bones.
That's scientific.
It's boning.
Talk about boning.
Watch your boning.
No, I mean, it's real.
This is, and the reason why I want to bring this up, because this is a slippery slope. Because let's just have respect for our 40 and our 50 and our 60-year-olds whose numbers are going to be higher.
Yeah.
Right. But particularly for my people who are earlier on in life, I want you to watch that number because now there are some men that don't care. You know, women love to be on. They want to keep fingers and toes. As long as they have only fingers and toes worth of people, they'll be okay. And it's, you know, I understand promiscuity and things of that nature. I definitely can't say that I was an angel or whatever. Yeah. But I just like to say it because it's a caution that I want to give ladies with regard to that. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, for me, I think we just have to hold a standard all the way around, right? If I'm gonna say, you know, if I sleep with 25 girls, I'm a hoe. Right. If you sleep with 25 guys, you're a hoe.
Right.
You know, and even out the playing field instead of, you know, and we have to, you know, as men be more responsible with each other and stop applauding.
Right. It's because it's not good either way.
Applauding.
Sowing your oats and all that. Like, gentlemen, the days like that was back in the day when all you needed was a shot and you can keep it going. Now, like your dick will fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, you don't even want to go there with it.
You know, and it's I think we have to get back to evening the playing field.
Right.
And evening the standards and basically saying like, yo, that's disrespectful,
Right.
regardless of gender.
I like to say that sometimes because I think that okay, let's look at chivalry. Chivalry is a double standard.
Absolutely.
If you really want to think about it, when a woman comes in a room, right? If a man comes in a room and all the women are sitting down, are the women getting up? No, they're not. You know, and even when you say treat me like a lady, well, what is that?
What does that mean?
That's a double standard. You expect me to pay for this, right? Even though I know you can, right? Because you out there doing big things. But you know, you got to pick again, we're going back to picking a struggle, right? So there are certain things that are dope. I don't have a problem opening doors and things and pulling out chairs and you know, hell, walking on the outside of the sidewalk and you walking on the inside. But just understand that if it exists over here for you and you're the benefactor, understand that there might be some other things over here that it might exist that I might be the benefactor. Exactly. And whether it's sleeping with multiple people or whether it's, you know, being the quote unquote man of the household or whatever case it be, like you got to pick a struggle. And I think that sometimes people kind of play double dutch with roles and response. And we didn't even talk about the gender role piece.
Here's the thing. The needs of men in our culture are looked at as unimportant.
Okay. Expand on that.
So your pain and my pain is pales in comparison to the pain of a woman.
Right. Especially they can have a baby.
And that comes from a culture that puts women on a pedestal.
Right.
Right. So women hijacked chivalry. The history, think about it. The history of chivalry was actually between men in settling a dispute.
So history.
So the history in chivalry was, I'm not gonna punch you when you don't know it's coming.
Right.
That was chivalry.
Fighting fair.
Yeah. I'm not gonna kick you when you're down.
Right.
Like way back in the day, it was, come on, man, get up.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
And you can see it on some like the glories and not the glory. Yeah, the glories and the Bravehearts of the world. Like, okay, until we set up, don't come fight me.
Exactly.
And they stand there.
Yes.
Now it's like, yo,
no, I'm rolling on you because there was
firing now.
You remember back in the day, they would say, have you no honor? That was the whole thing. You don't stab a man in the back.
There's no honor in killing somebody like that. Right.
If you're gonna fight, let's fight man to man. Like, I'm gonna look you in your eye, and we're gonna see who can best each other. Right.
Back in the day when people fought with fists, you know.
And then the over romanticizing, knight in shining armor type of thing came to be, and then we started to over romanticize that women need to be, this needs to happen, and then you need to do this, and then you need to do that, and you need to do that, and you need to do that. And don't get me wrong, I don't think anything is wrong with opening a door.
Right.
I don't think anything is wrong with honor and showing honor to the women in our lives that we love. But there's a difference between showing honor and putting somebody on a pedestal. Okay. Because you put somebody on a pedestal, that means you're always looking at them as better than you. Right. You know what frustrates me? What frustrates me a lot is the self-deprecation that men do as a way of showing love to other people about their woman.
Okay. So I think I know where you're going with it. Go ahead.
So if I say, oh, man, I would be nothing if it wasn't for her. Oh. All of those things really irritate me from not from the standpoint of not her being an asset. Right. But where does that come from? Right. Does that self-deprecation come from your need to wanna have sex? That you feel like I have to lower myself just a little bit, push her up just a little bit in order for me to get what I need from her?
I think that there's actually, if we look at it from that capacity, yeah, I would really be. I'm not feeling that, right? I do think that when one whole and one whole come together and they move forward, the path that's created at that point would be something that you would not exist inside of this without that other person. And that's why I can't stand when they be like, my better half. No, you're better whole. Yeah. And we'll talk to the unmarried folks about that. But I think that, again, that raising on a pedestal, we don't have a problem with doing that. There's just a reciprocity that a lot of
That
times
you don't get.
that women are not doing.
Exactly.
And so the man sitting over here like, I'm trying to hold you up, but you do know that you got to pass this back.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why when I've heard women say, get with a man who loves you more than you love him. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Get with somebody who loves you more than you love them. Like, I wouldn't want that. You know what I'm saying? It should be an even trade.
Get you a man that you can control.
There it was.
That's literally That's literally the idea. And here's the thing: you can get, you know, if we're gonna talk about like the beta and the alpha kind of idea,
Right.
you can get a man who's a beta male provider,
Right.
who's gonna come home at the same time every night, who's gonna rub your feet, who's gonna help you wash the dishes. But I don't think anything is wrong with those things.
He's broke, by the way.
What I'm saying is, but somebody who's going to be predictable, somebody who you'll be able to count on every single time because
He's
you
broke.
know. But here's the thing: there's a chance that he's broke,
Yeah, he's
and
broke.
there's a extremely high chance that you are not sexually attracted to him.
Yep. There it is.
Any man that a woman can control,
Right.
she's going to lose sexual attraction for.
Right.
And so what we have to do is we have to train our brothers to understand that you are a prize.
Come on.
That you have to.
And that's not said enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
men don't understand. Like, and what's thrown out there is the woman is more of the prize. And don't get me wrong, ladies, you are a prize, but just know that your man is a prize too. And that's why that's why the phrase "happy wife, happy life"
It's
makes
bullcrap. It's
absolutely
abusive.
no sense. You know what I'm
It's
saying? It actually it perpetuates the thought process of constantly reaching to make her higher and her better, and it's not being thrown back. Because if it's happy wife, happy life, what is it for men? I'll wait. What is it? There's no phrase. I can't even think of
for
one.
men. It's
What is it for the husbands?
For men, it's a good life you got there, sir. And if you want to
sure is
remain
cute.
safe, you'll continue to
Yeah,
capitulate
like, what is
to her
that?
demands.
And I think that it's important to really, and ladies, it's not that we want to sit here and beat up or whatever case and be on you or whatever, because it's really your counterparts. It's really not you. It's your counterparts that perpetuate something in to the point where this is the reason why that marriage looks unsexy.
Yeah.
That's the reason why the people that men do, because they're like, I just got to spend the rest of my life lifting you up, and it might or might not come back to me, and every now and then you might throw me some booty. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on that. Why do I can just live with somebody or just, have a 3, 4, 5 girl team, and I'm good. I'm better over here because none of my guy friends, you know what I'm saying? They don't look like that they enjoy that entity there.
Being around
of marriage.
is I was telling a friend of mine, being around guys who are married has been depressing for the past few months.
Okay.
Because you don't see any joy. You ever been to the zoo and you look at the lion and you just know, right? You see him and he doesn't have that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Something. There was a video the other day on that lion piece, and the lion came up. The lioness was laying down, and the lion came
He
over.
tried to lay on her.
and she got up. Yo, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is what it is in marriage.
Yeah.
The fact that somebody even put that meme together
Yep.
shows that, okay, why would it be the man walks in, walks up, he goes to lay down, she gets up, boom, he hits the floor.
Yeah.
Why is that even funny?
Yeah.
Because when people crack jokes, they crack jokes over stuff that's in real
true.
life.
Yeah.
So why is this here?
The male pain is not important in our culture.
Uh-oh.
If I'm hurt, like, here's the thing. In our society, we can
Let me make sure this video is still playing. Go ahead.
Listen, in our culture, you can cheat as a man. And you can cheat because she's not having sex with you, right? You paying the bills, you coming home, you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, taking care of your family, right? And she's berating you constantly. She's nagging you at extraordinarily just annoying rate. She's nagging you. You're not getting sex. She hands out sex like coupons, you know,
Coochie coupon. That's what they call it.
Coochie coupons. Yeah, cooch ponds, right?
Yeah, like when you do your honeydew list, that was a coupon that you get. You get 10%
Exactly.
off.
So
next time you ask, you might get 10% chance. You might get.
So
food.
you got niggas like saying like, I hope if I wash the dishes and I make sure the den is clean, and then if I come home at 5:30, you know, it's guys in their mind who's saying,
but that's real.
Like it's a real thing,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
And so, but here's the thing: if he cheats, she will be looked at as the victim.
Right.
She'll be looked at that like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Nah, she's a mother and she mothered your children and da. But here's the thing. If you as a man do what you're supposed to do. Right. Mm-hmm. And let's say you hit a rough patch in your relationship. Right. And she cheats. The thing that she can say is, I wasn't getting what I needed. Oh,
I'm so glad we just went there.
Listen, everybody
That's
will,
so real.
Everybody will come to her defense.
Like if he was hitting it better.
Exactly.
You know
if he was hitting it better, if he made more money, or if he was more present.
If he spent more time.
Exactly.
It's okay. No, but that's real because I've noticed that, right? And don't get me wrong, because the first thing people going to bring up is maybe the Tiger Woods of the world. Like everybody accepted.
Bump him. No, bump that.
We're not even going to go there.
No, listen. Tiger Woods, right? Listen.
I think we hit a button.
Like every guy is open to popping a whole bunch of girls. Right. Okay. There's no difference.
There's a biological piece to that.
There's no difference between the guy who works the forklift at Home Depot and Tiger Woods. Right. You know what's stopping the guy at Home Depot from hitting a bunch of women? Right. The forklift. Okay. Because here's the thing. Nobody's training men. Nobody's training men to handle the influx of attention that comes with power.
Right. That's true. That's very true.
Right? Yep. So like listen, you know how many women come at Tiger?
Come on, man.
Right? So if your wife is if your wife had the feistiness and the gangsterness to destroy your car with a 9-iron. Right? Ain't no telling what kind of wife she was. Right. So let's not do that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just like to bring that because they'll just say as if it's acceptable or whatever case to be amongst men.
It's not acceptable.
You got the rest of us regular folk, right? Yeah. To the point of, yes, it's almost like you see excuses. They'll say, well, yes, it was wrong, but when it comes to her. But for men, it's like, oh, well, all men are dogs. And I always want to let people know, I don't care if it's male or female. Cheating is never a problem. Cheating is a symptom of the problem. Absolutely. And so those symptoms become okay when it's a woman, but when it's a man, it's kind of like you wrong. And just it's no differently than domestic violence, right? If obviously, and let me be clear, a man should not put his hands on a woman, right? And so when you see those things, when you see unfortunate, maybe a black eye or whatever a man to just heinous of just doing and putting his hands on a woman, we're just like the whole world comes crashing down on that person. He's got to do better. He's da-da-da-da. Right? Which is true. However, nobody sees the verbal abusive portions that a woman has handed to a certain type of man to whereas, if you're withholding the sex, right? If you're popping off from a mouth perspective. And we're going to go into it actually leads into the last topic we're going to talk about with love and respect. But just understand that I want ladies to understand that there is a level of accountability that needs to come towards you with regard to watching the things that you say, right? Because it is a double standard to whereas if I'm yelling at you, I'm being abused.